Londres.
What do you think when you hear the strains of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony? On one level, of course, it is a sublime piece of music that stands at the outer end of human achievement. But even the most beautiful and exquisite compositions have context. And Beethoven's Ninth has been put to some pretty unsavory uses. It was used by the Chinese communists during the Cultural Revolution. The Nazis were very fond of it. It was the anthem of white minority Rhodesia. And of course, most recently, it's been taken over as the anthem of the European Union. Now, context on one level doesn't matter, but on the other hand, we all exist in a world where politics and the arts intersect. This was a point most dramatically made in Anthony Burgess's novel A Clockwork Orange. The same point is made even more vividly in the film version, where Beethoven's Ninth is used when the protagonist of the book is being shown some horrible images to make him sick, and the result is he can never again listen to the music. He says, it's a sin. Using Ludwig van like that, he only wrote music. And there's an element, I think, of most Eurosceptics who regret the way it's been taken over by the European Union. Me, I've always sat quietly when they perform it here in the European Parliament. It seems to me that I didn't want to stand and recognise it as an anthem. It's not. It was actually taken out of the treaties after the Dutch and French referendums on the European Constitution. But at the same time, I don't want to be unkind or disrespectful, especially when there are young musicians performing it. So I sit quietly and appreciate it as though I were at a concert, rather than standing up as if it were a political statement. Here's the thing. Here's how our debate has become polarised. Because I and other Eurosceptics, not only from Britain, used to decline to stand during the anthem, first UKIP and now the Brexit Party felt they had to up the ante. And so here we are at the beginning of a new session, and as the anthem was played, they made a point of theatrically turning their backs. And now look at how the ante has been upped on the other side. Look at the extreme and hysterical parallels that have been drawn by Europhiles with Nazis in the Reichstag and so on. We've lost all sense of perspective. We used to be a country associated with courtesy and understatement. And here we are, sending one lot of MEPs turning their backs and another lot coming in with bollocks to Brexit shirts. What on earth has happened to us over the last 3 years? Well, you don't need to be a particular genius or psephologist to work it out. What's happened to us is we've all been polarised and tribalised, not so much by the EU referendum, but by the monstrous culture war that has taken place since. Instead of arguing in a civil way about trade, sovereignty, money, and so on, we have become a tribal people. We are defined by whom we dislike, caricatured respectively as bigoted old people who fell for lying demagogues, or as sneering snobs who secretly disdain their own country. Whether you voted Leave or Remain, please think about what would be the consequence of a second referendum in terms of prolonging all of those divisions. Until we have put this business behind us, we cannot move on as a country. And we risk being trapped in seeing people who disagree with us, fellow countrymen on the other side, as enemies rather than as opponents.